Good morning, guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm filming my car accident video for the 18th time. Yeah, I feel like I done recorded it 20 times and I can never get it to upload, so this one is going to be an unedited version of my car accident story. So we're going to get straight into it. It is currently 9:39. I'm smoking my blunt. I made cinnamon rolls, and yeah, so I'm just gonna sit in the car and tell my story time. So hopefully it's not, the heat not too loud. So as some of you know, I'm trying to go to it so I can have it like, as some of you know, I got into a car accident and I got into 2 car accidents. I got into one car accident in 2020 and the other car accident in 2021. So I originally, we're going to start with the backstory. So first I'm going to go with, I got my car May 4th of 2020. So this dealership, I should have already knew, like, they were, they were like, kind of like playing around. Like, it wasn't a, it basically, the car dealership is a scamming car dealership, and I had already been to like other dealerships and I was looking around, and I had even went to Drive Time. Yeah, I went to Drive Time and they didn't have the car I wanted. Like, I wanted a specific car, but then once I realized, like, after looking for it for so long, and I was realizing, okay, well, you can't find that car. So what I did was, I was just like, you know what, just find a car that's cute to you. So I seen, when I first seen this car, I was like, yeah, that's the car I'm getting. Like, the car is so cute. It was a 2012 Volkswagen CC. It was like gray, and it came already tinted. Both my cars came tinted. So I was like, okay, I don't have to get it tinted or nothing. So when I first seen the car, I was like, that's the one I want. Like, as soon as I seen it, I said, that's the car I want. So we went in or whatever, and there was like, the tire is flat. So I come back the next day, but I could see if I like any other car. So I was trying to test drive this Buick. Y'all know how you have the brakes and the gas. I know what the brake and the gas is. I'm pressing on the brakes, y'all, and I kid y'all not, like, I was reversing. Yeah, I was reversing. Sorry, I was reversing, and then I had to go up. So I put the car back in drive, and it's a ditch in front of me. So I'm pressing on the brakes to stop the car. Like, my sister is in the car with me, and she see me like pressing on the brakes, and I went in there, and like, the car went in the ditch, and I went in there and told them, like, your car, the brakes don't work. So that was red flag number 2 on my end, but I was just trying to ignore it because it was my first car. I was really excited to get my first car, and like, really nobody could tell me nothing. So I kind of, it was my fault that car. So once that car went into the ditch, I was like, okay, I'm gonna come back tomorrow to test drive the other car. I knew it was gonna go out, y'all, and I don't have a lighter. So I was I came back or whatever, seen the tire, and then, or no, I went back, the tire still wasn't on there, so I had to wait. I think I got my car on a Monday or something like that. I know it was during the week. So the day that, this is something crazy too, the day that I'm going to get my car, I was like, okay, like, I already knew what my down payment was or whatever for the car. So I was like, okay, like, I'm gonna put my down payment down. So my down payment, I put it down, and then as I'm putting it down, like, mind you, I've been talking to the same lady throughout my whole process, like, literally my whole process. So I'm like, let me turn the car on. So I'm like, okay, like, the freaking thing is, my whole thing is, hold on. Okay, so like I was saying, my whole thing was, why would you, like, she was like, okay, it's extra, you gotta put down extra $100. I wasn't tripping over the extra $100 because I'm like, okay, I got an extra $100, like. But my whole thing was, why as soon as like I'm signing the papers, now all of a sudden is you got to put down extra $100, which I didn't get. So at the time, like, I just brushed it off, put the extra $100 down, was like, okay. So I put down the extra money. So when I went to go test drive the car, mind you, I test drove the car. It was nothing wrong with the car. Like, I floored it. It was nothing wrong with the car. It wasn't making no noise or nothing. Y'all, I get home, I'm like, what is that noise? My car is making like a noise. I'm like, what the fuck is that? So I needed to go get gas, so I went and got gas, and I think I grabbed Dutchie's out the store or whatever, and I was like, okay, whatever, like, okay. So I'm thinking the noise is gonna stop. No, I'm driving home, the thing is getting louder. I called them and was like, the car is making some noise, like something. So the girl was like, the owner will be here tomorrow, just bring it in. I brought the car in and showed them, and it's oil like all over the inside of my car, like my engine and stuff. It had oil in it. So I'm like, what the fuck? So it was like some part, because I ended up having to go, I think that Friday I went up there and I sat up there and I actually like got my car, well, supposedly got it fixed to where all the oil would stop leaking in my car and it would stop making that noise. Y'all, the car was not fixed at all. Like, it still was making that noise, and even my boyfriend was like, why is your car making that noise? Like, it was like embarrassing to the point where I didn't want to drive my car, but it was my car. So I ended up calling some service shop for Volkswagen, and I took it there for two things. The first thing, I don't remember, but it was like only $600, and I was like, okay. And I think they only had my car for like a couple hours that day. The second time is when I went to go get the noise to stop. I think the first time it was my air or something. I don't remember, but I know I went 2 times. The first time it was $600. The second time it was $1,800 to get the noise to stop. Like, they had to fix my timing belt. I know it was something with my timing belt, and I was like, okay. So my job, I basically then put down more than the damn car. So I'm like, well, my down payment was more than $1,800, but how much I put into that car for me to only have that car for a month, really? Like, I got into a car accident July 10th of 2020. I got into my car accident on July 10th. I got the car on May 4th. Y'all, my tags, here's the thing, my first tags, now this is where we finna really get into it, because my first temporary, you know, they give you a temporary tag. Okay, cool. This is where the problem started, really. So it started with the temporary tag. When I got my car, COVID had just hit. Like, COVID was like, literally, we had just shut down in March, and I was trying to get my car since April. So I'm like, okay, I got the car I wanted in May, and May 4th to July 10th, they give you a temporary tag. My temporary tag, when it was close to expiring, like maybe 10 to 15 days before, I was telling him, because, you know, in my papers and stuff, they was like, yo, we're gonna mail out your tag, because, you know, the tag offices was closed. So I was like, okay. So I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, my boyfriend had got his car already, and I think he already had his tags. Like, he ended up getting his tags, and I'm like, we didn't get our car from the same place. So I was like, okay, maybe that's why. So no, they never, like, when I was doing the thing, something, they was like, your tag was never put in. Like, my temporary tag, I was never put in to get a permanent tag. So I'm telling him, calling him, you know, me and this man is literally going back and forth on the phone, back and forth on the phone, like arguing, to the point where I was like, fuck it, I don't care. So my tag expired. When my tag expired, I didn't drive my car at all. Like, my car was sitting in the yard. It wasn't like I wasn't driving. So that was for maybe like a week, and I'm like, okay. So I went up there. I got a new temporary tag. Here's the shit. I got a new temporary tag. I'm like, okay, you said it's coming in the mail. This time, like, I'm gonna get my tag before the end of the month. Like, I'm gonna get my tag before July. Before the end of July, I'm gonna have my tag. Correct. He said yes. Y'all, tell me why I would not get into... Mind you, that was like, I drove my car from... They had my car for 2 days. I remember my car was in the shop for 2 days when I first got it. And then I was driving. And then for like a week, I didn't drive. So, really 3... Yeah, like, literally, like I said, I only really had my car for a month. So, I'm like, okay. The morning of my car accident. Here's the thing. The morning of my car accident, I was following my sister. She was going to work, but I was just driving, like, driving to clear my head. So, we were going, like, the same exact way. Only thing is, we were getting off on 2 different exits. So, mind you, we're still on the streetway, driving to the highway. This truck, I don't want to sound racist. So, this truck came, and it was like one of them Silverado trucks. I'm going to insert a picture. I'm going to show y'all, actually. It was this truck that hit me. Like, and my whole thing was, I was blowing my horn, like, before he hit me. I was literally blowing my horn. Because how it was, it's like you had to yield. He had to yield into traffic. But I'm blowing my horn, letting him know, like, it's not enough space in between me and my sister. You're either going to hit her, or you're going to hit me. You're going to hit her, or you're going to hit me. And who do you think he hit? Me. And I'm pissed. Like, my sister is in front of me. So I'm like, okay. Like, she's seen what just happened. And mind you, I'm blowing my horn, like, I'm honking. Like, you hear my horn, because my horn is not a low horn. Like, it was loud. So, this is the car that hit me at 8:43. At 8:40, really, because I got the picture at 8:43. So, that's the car that hit me. And that's what his car looked like. This is what mine looked like. Like, y'all, I was so mad. And my thing was my axle. But the thing that got me was the man said he ain't had no brakes. Motherfucker, if you know you ain't had no brakes, why the fuck are you driving? Like, that really pissed me off. Because I was like, are you serious? Like, you know you didn't have no brakes. And I was like, did you not hear my horn? Like, that was literally my first question I asked. I got out the car and said, did you not hear my horn? Like, did you? Because my horn is not a low horn. Like, did you not hear? He was like, oh, I couldn't stop. I couldn't stop. So why are you driving if you know you have no brakes? Like, make it make sense. I was so mad. Like, I was so pissed off. And I had just smoked, so he blew my shit. Like, I was fucking pissed off. I was like, okay. So now I'm just like, all right, whatever. So I'm sitting there waiting for the cops to come. The cop came. He ran my tag. He said, your tag is not a legit tag. Like, if you would have got pulled over, your car would have got towed, because this is not a real tag. I said, what? Like, what? I was so confused, because I'm like, how is it not a real tag? But the dealership gave it to me. Like, I ain't just print this shit at home. He was like, no, this is not a real tag. Mind y'all, I'm like, all right, what the fuck, what do I do from here? So here we go with this lighter again. So I'm like, okay, like, and he was like, he was real cool about it. Like, he didn't say nothing about it. I mean, I had just gotten a car accident. You see, I can't drive the car anywhere. But because when he said turn the car on, I was like, it turns on like my car is on, but it's not drivable. When I tried driving it, it started shaking, and it was because my rear axle, he had hit my rear axle, and I was fucked. Like, when I got home, I was trying to order, like, I had paid for it to get towed to my house, which was like only $200. And then I had after I got it towed, I was like trying to figure out what was wrong with it. So I'm trying to order the parts, and then I was like, okay, the insurance gonna pay for it. So, you know, calm down. But I couldn't be calm because it was my first car. It was my birthday month, and I had plans. So I'm like, now I don't know what I'm gonna do for my birthday. Like, my plans are canceled. I don't have no car. Like, and it was the first summer of me having a car, and I was like, damn, I ain't got no car. Like, and I just got it, y'all. I was so mad. So when I talked to the insurance people or whatever, they was like waiting for the police report and stuff, you know, the typical. So I'm like, okay. So my job, the day before my birthday, I had just went to go look at rental cars, and I couldn't find no rental car like that was cute, that was like nice enough, or either available. Like, people didn't really have a rental car. So I was like, okay. And I was only 19 at the time. Like, I was turning 20. So I was like, okay. So it ended up on my birthday, I had a hair appointment. So that morning I went to my hair appointment or whatever, and then I came back. I had got my hotel the night before. I got my hotel for my birthday. So that was really the only thing that I was happy about, that I had a hotel. Like, I was able to be away from home, and I was able to like just breathe, and I just wanted to really just get away. So I ended up, because every year I normally go out of town for my birthday, but since 2020 I haven't been out of town for my birthday. So it was like, okay, that morning after I got my hair done, the insurance company called me and told me I could get a rental car that day. Y'all, I was so happy. Like, I was like, okay, it's my birthday. Like, everything is looking up. Stuff is looking up. I could be able to do stuff. So I ended up getting a rental car that day. And what did I do? I went, and after I got my hair done, I went and got the car. That took maybe like an hour or two. And then after that, I picked up my birthday twin, and then we went back to the hotel, got dressed, and I went to dinner. And that was really it. Like, I just went to dinner and then went back to the hotel, smoked, and that was really it. And I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, I got into a car accident in July. It took from July to October for it to get settled. And it was because the car company, like, the car company was basically a scam. And they couldn't get, like, none of my papers. But I had my papers that I signed and stuff. But it was like the car company. So I would never go to that car company again. Like, and I don't recommend nobody to go to that car company. And then, like, when I was, like, reading stuff in debt, when I had to read stuff, because I ended up contacting the freaking state, and I was like, this car company, and they was like, yeah, they got reports before on that car company. And then I went and read it, and I went and I was reading it, and I was like, oh, so they are a scam. And basically, when I got my settlement, I went and got another car. The car I wanted was a Dodge Dart. I had seen it. It was a 2016 Dodge Dart. It was white. Yeah. I get to the place. Okay, cool. The car salesman, he was weird, because he was like, at the time, Trump was, you know, running. So he was like, are you voting for Trump? And I was like, no. And he was like, oh, well, I am. And then after I said, no, I wasn't voting for Trump, he kind of like, his whole attitude and demeanor changed. So the second car I got it on October 14th. Of 2021. I had that car from October to May of I got it in 2020, October 14th of 2020, and I had it until May of 2021. That car, I like that car too. Like, it was a cool car. That wasn't the car I was going for at first. So the reason I didn't get the Dodge Dart was because it was stick shift. And when he said, do you know how to drive stick shift? I said, no. He said, oh, well, you gotta look at another car. And I was like, oh, yeah, because it's like stick shift. I never drove a stick shift car. I don't know how to drive stick shift. So I was like, okay. So he pointed me to the direction of the other cars, and it was in between these two Volkswagens. And I was like, because the other cars were like kind of big cars, and I was like, oh, okay. So I got the Volkswagen, and the other one wasn't tinted. The one I got was tinted. So And those tents was real dark. Like, you, in both my cars, my tents was dark where you couldn't see in it, and I like that. So that car, only thing at first I noticed that was wrong with that car was the key. Like, the key was you know, one of those kind of keys, a turn-in key, but you can, yeah, you know. So the key kept getting stuck, and I was like, I kept saying my key won't come out. Like, one day I was at work, I kid y'all not, I worked at 4 o'clock in the morning. The key was stuck. I told my manager, I'm here. Like, I called and said, I'm here, but my key is stuck in my car, and I'm not just gonna leave my car running. Like, I'm not just leaving my car running and people be just walking around. No, like, I'm gonna sit here, and I would just have to take that point, because at the time I was working at Walmart. So I was like, all right, well, I'm here, but my key is stuck. So that was the only problem I noticed at first. That was going on for like the first month, I say. And then it was the tires. I kept having to get tires every 2 weeks. Every 2 to 3 weeks, I was getting back tires. Like, my back tires would keep threading, or they would pop, and I'll be like, okay. So Christmas time, I paid like $500 just to see what was wrong with my car, and I'm like, okay. And then it was my back end, something with my back end thing. I ended up ordering a part. I ordered a part. I was supposed to get it put in, never got it put in. And when I got into my car accident, the part was like literally in my car, in the trunk. So the day of this car accident was crazy, because that morning, a cop had just pulled me over. He was like, you don't have insurance on your car? I said, yes, I do. I had just switched insurance. He was like, he asked that. He was like, did you just switch insurance? Because he went back and he was like, did you just switch insurance or something? And I was like, yeah. He was like, okay, well, tell your car company you switched insurance, because right now it looked like you don't have no insurance. I was like, okay. So that was that. And when he came to my car, because he pulled me over out of nowhere, so I was like, that's strange. Like, I had the ashtray in my car, and like, you seen it was like you really only seen one blunt in there, but it wasn't a whole blunt. And he was like, I see you got an ashtray, it's just tobacco in there. And I was like, yeah, ain't nothing in there but like some trash and stuff. And he was like, oh, okay, be safe and make sure you tell your car company. I was like, okay. So that was like 2 to 3 hours before I got into my car accident. I got into my car accident because y'all know how the light will like blink yellow for you to yield, and then it will stop. Like, the other side will be red, and then your side will be red, but your light, when you're in a turning lane, your light is green. So the other side stopped. I'm turning, my light is green for me to turn now. I'm turning. A BMW came out of nowhere, smacked dead into my car. I was spinning around in the road, y'all. I was so scared. Like, I was on the phone with my boyfriend, and I was like, he was like, you okay? Like, he heard the crash, and like, he was just screaming my name. Like, he was just yelling, not screaming, but he was just like yelling my name. Like, and I wasn't answering him. Like, I'm spinning around, I'm trying to get out the car. So mind you, the car started smoking, so I'm trying to get out. Like, as the car is spinning, I'm trying to open my door, but realizing I cannot open my door. Like, the kind of car I have, if my car is in drive, it's not gonna let me open the door and like get out. Like, I can get out, but how, y'all get what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay. When the car finally stopped, it stopped, and like, I had hit this Mercedes, but like, I hit her car like that, literally. And I was like, okay. So mind you, I'm freaking out. He on the phone, and finally I answered him and was like, somebody hit me, like, and he was like, you okay, you good? Like, I'm coming. So he was on his way to get me. I called 911 or whatever. I called my sister and told her what happened, and she was like literally down the street, maybe like 10-15 minutes away from me. And she came, and they both was there or whatever, you know. to help me out, because that car accident, like, I really was scared from that car accident. Like, car accident PTSD is real. Like, that car accident, I didn't want to drive for a while, and I didn't drive for a while. Like, after that car accident, I was really scared to get in the car. I was scared to, like, if you drove fast, I would get scared. I always wore my seatbelt after that. Like, before in the passenger seat, I wouldn't wear my seatbelt, but I was wearing my seatbelt when I got into that car accident. Like, my car, my airbags, my passenger side airbags deployed, and I was just like, that car accident, like, really scared me, because I was just like, wow, like, how did that happen? Like, and it happened in a matter of seconds. It happened on May 25th. I hope it focused. So that's what it looked like, and I was like so scared. Like, I was crying, like, I was shook, like, I was really in shock, and I had like a cut on my arm, but it wasn't nothing major. And the ambulance asked me, they was like, are you bleeding or anything? And I was just like, no, just that. And I was just like crying. Like, I couldn't stop crying because I was just in shock. Like, what the hell just happened? Like, I was literally just turning. What the hell just happened? So they took our reports or whatever, and I got it towed to my house. And I was just like, and it literally happened. It's crazy because both my car accidents literally happened within 15 minutes of my house. So car accidents really do happen right when you're by home. Like, it happened 15 minutes within my house, like within me getting to my house. So I was just like scared. Like, that one really scared me, and I didn't want to drive for a long time after that. Like, I was really scared. And from that car accident, I really think my back, like, ever since that car accident, my back will randomly be hurting, and like, when it hurt, like, it'd burn, and I was just like, it's whatever. And when my insurance lady called afterwards, she asked about that, and I told her I didn't go to the hospital for it, and she was like, oh, well, it might be too late. And I was like, it is, but it's cool. Like, it randomly hurt, but I didn't think about it at the time. So both of those car accidents really scared me. Like, I was really scared. So I just want to say, be safe. Like, seriously, be safe when you're driving. Like, because, boy, I'm scared. Like, I don't get scared. I still be scared when I'm driving, but not like scared to the point where I can't drive. Like, people still drive crazy, but it's just like, you just gotta know how to drive. So that was my car accident story time, and that was both of my, I don't know where my dang on lip gloss is because my lips are chapped. That was my story time on my car accident, or car accidents, and they both were Volkswagens. And Volkswagens, honestly, Volkswagens are a piece of shit, if you want me to be honest with you. And they're high maintenance, but I mean, if that's the car you want, that's the car you want. So you're gonna pay whatever you want for the car you want. But honestly, they are a piece of shit. Like, I would never get another Volkswagen. Like, I honestly think Volkswagens are bad luck cars. So me personally, I'm not getting another Volkswagen. But if you have a Volkswagen, I just want you to be safe, be careful, and even if you don't drive a Volkswagen, still be safe, be careful, because people are crazy. Like, it's just crazy people. Why would you drive with no brakes, and why would you run a light? Like, make it make sense. So I'm just like, okay, whatever. But so let me see, is there anything else within the car accident story time? I don't think so. So that's it. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure you guys do drop some ideas in the comments, or comment down below some things you think I should try, or some things you guys want to see. And that's it. I'll see you guys in the next video.